This is how I filmed and edited an after-party recap video for Joe Jonas and his brand Cup of Joe. Let's get started.
Now can I get a coke with my rum? 369 girls wanna drink wine. Tell the man not to waste your time. The man broke, the man he a joke, so you gotta get loose with the Henny and the coke. 3, 2, 1, girls wanna have fun. If the man don't dance, he's done. Tell him move on, get the man gone. Now can I get a coke with my rum?
So today I'm going to be breaking down my thought process before the shoot, during the shoot, and also after the shoot in the editing process. So the first thing I do whenever I get asked to do a project is to look up things for inspiration, things that inspire me. And the first thing that came to mind was this video that Donnie filmed for Fred Again. I just love the energy that this video captures, the emotions. Also love how fast-paced it is, and it keeps kind of up with the fast-paced tune of this song. And so this is something that I really wanted to bring with my edit for this after party as well. That being said, I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't know what kind of songs Joe would be playing. I didn't know what the vibe would be, but I thought to keep this fast-paced edit in mind while filming. Now, on the day while filming, I made sure to try to get a whole wide of different shots, different angles, different moods as well. While traveling to the shoot, I kind of prepared a mini shot list on my phone over here, and I really just wanted to get like wide crowd shots, shots of like the DJ vibing, shots of people in the crowd dancing, also vibing. Wanted to get some of like these like zoom in and out shots that I will talk about in a bit for like transitions, just to keep the energy flowing. I also knew that I wanted to get both close-up shots but also wide shots, so I made sure to bring a 50mm for those like intimate close-up shots, but also a wide angle lens just so you could capture more of the action, more of the energy as well. And you'll see in the edit that I switch between the two focal lengths in the shots. So let's dive into the edit, shall we? So going into the actual edit, let me just play this video through once, and I'll explain my thought process of this edit. I think we'll start chronological. Nice crowd shots. Nice vibey ending as well. Let's start with the beginning. So let's start with actually the sound. The sound, I was going through a whole bunch of trending sounds on Instagram, and this one really caught my eye. Again, I was going for a very fast-paced, vibey, happy song. And so when I heard this song, it just clicked. It was like, yes, this is the song I'm going to be using. So immediately in the edit, I'm like, okay, that's the song that we're going to use. And if you listen to the song at the very beginning of the song, there's a little bit of like a slow moment where it kind of builds up before the drop, and boom. So while filming, I kept in mind that I kind of wanted to get a moment that was dragged out, not too fast paced and slow. And so as you can see with this shot here, the camera is quite still and steady, just to keep the piece, accentuate that it's a slow moment in the video. And every other clip in the video is like moving in some sort of way. It also really helped here that Joe was moving very slowly as well. I think he was building up to a drop, which was really nice. Perfect moment, captured perfectly. As you can see here, there's a lot of separation between Joe and the background because this was shot on a 50mm. I like the 50mm because it really provides, it's a f1.8, so it provides a lot of separation between the subject and the background, which is perfect for the purposes of this shot in this video, because although this is an after party video, it's for Joe and it's Joe's event, so I kind of wanted to bring him forth a little bit in the video. And of course, it's Joe Jonas. Who doesn't want to bring him forward in a video edit? But also, since this was meant for Reels and TikTok, people's attention spans on the platforms are absolutely terrible. And so to try to stop people from clicking off the video immediately during the slow 3 seconds, because 3 seconds is very long apparently on social media platforms, I took inspiration from a good friend Paolo, and rapidly changed the font of the text. So I just found some really nice fonts that I really like. Easter egg, if you watch any of my other videos, is this is the font that I use on all my TikToks. So a little bit of a signature there. And as you see here, there's this one font over here that is extended for a longer period of time, and that's because this is the official logo of Cup of Joe, and so I wanted to end on that font, and then also go into that the word London using that font as well. So the intro, the intro again.
Now can I get a Coke with my rum?
Boom. Now, if you listen carefully, you might be able to hear some cheering in the background.
369 girls. 369 girls wanna drink wine.
Woo! That's just, I don't even remember from which clip this came from, but I included that as kind of a nice drop. Without it,
369 girls wanna drink wine.
it's alright, but with it, it kind of adds emotion. Normally, I would have added more sound effects for sound design, but this was really fast turnaround as well, so I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. They actually wanted it like the day of or like the night of, but I didn't have my editing computer with me, so it's the first thing I edited when I got back out of the plane. Now, let's go into these next 3 shots, going into what a lot of people might have thought as like a zoom effect, but in reality it was all captured in camera. So these 3 clips were shot on the 16-35, and with a zoom lens, what I'm able to do is quickly zoom out, and I do that a couple times during the shoot so that I could cut between these shots in the middle of the zoom to make it look like it's like a zoom out effect or a zoom in effect. So as you can see here, this clip kind of like zooms out like that. And so what I did here is I cut it in the middle of the zoom to match it with the zoom out of this next clip, so it becomes one seamless zoom out transition like that. And this is something that I try to keep in mind while on the shoot, so that I make sure to get these kind of zoom out shots so I can use it in the edit as well. And again, this is another example of a zoom out clip. So if I kind of extend it backwards a little bit, you can see that it starts zoomed in at 35, and then I zoom out to capture the energy as well. And I cut it in the middle of the zoom. As you can see here, there's a little bit of motion blur already. I cut it out in the middle of the zoom to kind of keep the energy going. What I wanted to do with this edit as well is to keep up the energy without making it too boring. So I didn't want all the cuts, all the clips to be the same length. So I kind of went for like for many music people out there, like a quarter note, and then a half note, kind of basic rhythm to the video, and made sure that Joe or anything interesting stayed on the half note sections, and then like more like miscellaneous clips in the quarter note sections of the video. While I was filming, I made sure to film the crowd in slow motion. My camera allows me to film at 120 frames per second, so I could slow it down in post. This is inspired by Donnie's video as well, but I really wanted to get some slow-mo shots of people dancing in the crowd. So thank you to the people in the crowd, the audience. You guys are great. You guys were vibing, and you guys are great dancers as well. So this is shot on slow-mo, and in Davinci you could go into speed change, and you can change the speed over here. For this particular clip, I just liked how much coverage like the 30% made, because like in the middle of the clip there's this light going as well, so I made sure to time that. And then there's another clip of Joe just vibing. Made sure to move the clip around so that his hands are kind of going to the beat of the song I added in the edit. And again, this is another example where like it's a zoom out. As you can see here, if I extend this clip, the clip is zooming out, and then in the middle of the zoom, while it's still blurry, I cut to another clip that is zooming out. Actually, with this clip, when I was filming it, I filmed it zooming in. I think I was zooming in and out, but what worked best was when it was zooming in. So all I did, but if I wanted to make it zoom out, I just actually reversed the clip. So this clip is actually going backwards in time, but it makes it look like a zoom out effect as well. Some more crowd shots. Happy Joe. Look how happy he looks. Slow-mo clips of the crowd dancing. And also during the show, they're throwing out merch, so I made sure to capture that action. Probably the highlight of my evening was when his two other brothers showed up out of the blue. I was already filming this clip just to get like a clip, and then they just appeared out of nowhere, and the crowd was going wild as well. So it's great. It's great. A nice surprise. Got to meet the three brothers. Just him and Nick vibing, more crowd stuff. This is a cool shot. I was trying to like rotate the camera really slowly, very cinematic effect that's done in a lot of movies. Like the Black Panther throne scene, kind of like rotating slowly. I like slow camera movements sometimes because it breaks up the pace, but also, especially when the stuff in the frame is moving quickly, it's a nice little bit of contrast you could add as well. And the rest is just that. Yeah, I wanted to shout out Fabian. She was the opening act and the closing act of this DJ set, and she was amazing. Her energy is unmatched. Great opening, great talent. Joe, I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, book her more. Also, like, Joe would not have been looking at the camera. He was so focused. He's so like in the zone when he's DJing. So thanks to Fabian, I got this amazing clip because she's all like so attentive to cameras. Like, she always just like knows when the camera is pointing at her and knows what dances and what moves to do, and like gets the crowd hyped up when the camera's on. She's great. She knows what she's doing. True professional. So a little bit of homage to her, having her close out the video as well. Now, going into the color grade. How did I color grade this video? On my channel, you could see another video, which is all about color grading using CityPrint, and I used the same exact method here as well. And so if you want a full detail of like what CityPrint is and how you use CityPrint, check that video out. But I wanted to break down this first clip in particular. Actually, I have another edit that's in, there we go, actual wide, there we go. I edited this again for social media, for TikTok and Reels, but come on, we like a good old wide aspect ratio, and it's good to show you how I graded this as well. So this is the before. It's not bad, it's just very pink, very same color, not much contrast. So let's go into the grade. So obviously the first thing I did was slap on CityPrint. That didn't really do much, it just made the pinks a little bit more appealing. That's just the CityPrint by itself. I should name my notes, but I'm lazy, and also it was a fast edit. So this, what does this even do? I don't think this note actually does anything. Anyways, I'm not going to edit that out because you could see my thought process in real time. This node over here is just a exposure node. I felt like it was a little bit too dark, so I just brightened it up. Boom. This node here, I believe, is a color correction node. Yes, it is. So I felt like it was a little bit flat. There's not much interest in the shot. It's too pink. And so what I really wanted was to add some green to the highlights. Is it called complementary color? The opposite color, basically. By dragging the gain, or like the highlight slider, down towards the green, I was able to, as you can see here, make the highlights green, but keeping the shadows and midtones a little bit pink and purple to add that contrast. Now it looks a little bit more cinematic. What was this node doing? Oh, I felt like I didn't like how pink it was. It made him look like one of those characters from Willy Wonka. Over here, as you can see, I used the color warper. It's a very lazy way to edit your colors, but when you're editing on a fast and tight deadline, sometimes you need to take shortcuts. And so what the color warper does is essentially, as you can see here, you could like literally take, let me reset the node grade. You could take any color you want, like this color right here, and you can see here in this like web, you could actually like drag it and like completely change it around. So like I think what I did was like I desaturated a little bit and made it red. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see, I just kind of like made it a little bit more red to make his skin tone just a wee bit more natural. And then for the rest of the video, it's pretty much repeating the same grade again. With this clip over here, it started off, it was alright. Added city frame, added the changes, and it was a little bit flat, so I added green in the highlights, keep the red. When I applied, I think what I did was like right clicked and I pressed apply grade, because again, this was a fast edit. I didn't like how green it was a little bit, so I wanted to make it actually blue and red. So using the color warper and stuff, I just, as you can see here, warped the green to be a little bit more blue. I think this is probably my favorite shot, because like of all the hands that go up in the background. Yeah, and also I love how they're like, whatever the song he was playing, it was around the same beats per minute as the song used in it, so not bad. So this is the, hello. This is the before the grade. And then with the grade, I don't know if the computer's gonna handle it. Yeah, no, the computer's not handling it. Anyways. So yeah. That's the edit. Can we appreciate also how everything is in time with the music? Love it. In terms of export settings, just default Davinci, and yeah, that's it.